Cities often shout their names to the world. They have tall buildings that scrape the sky. They have bright lights that turn night into day. They have endless crowds and fast lives that pull everyone along. This is the city we all know from postcards and films. It is the side shown in travel guides and glossy magazines. But every famous city also has a quiet side, a whisper beneath the roar. This side is small and often overlooked. It is soft and gentle. It waits patiently for us in hidden corners, ready to offer a moment of peace. In these quiet pockets, you begin to hear the small sounds the city makes. You might hear the distant chime of a single bell, the soft whir of a bicycle, the simple song of a bird perched on a wire. You can smell the comforting aroma of fresh bread from a tiny bakery or the clean scent of rain on warm pavement. Light falls in thin, delicate lines through narrow alleyways or the leaves of a forgotten tree. People here move with a different rhythm. They sit on weathered steps. They talk in low, unhurried voices. Life feels gentle and measured. The city, for a moment, feels like it has all the time in the world. This essay is about finding that other city. It is a guide to the hidden corners strategy. This means looking for the spaces that exist between the famous landmarks and the bustling avenues. It is about discovering the city's quiet heart, one small moment at a time. We will explore 3 different cities on 3 different continents. We will see how a familiar place can feel entirely new when you find its stillness. The goal is not to escape the city, but to see it more completely. It is to understand that even the loudest places have a soul that speaks in a whisper. The search for quiet is a search for connection. It connects you to the real, everyday life of a place. It connects you to the small details that tell a deeper story. Let us begin in a famous coastal city, perhaps one in Asia, known for its frantic energy. By day, its harbor is a chaotic dance of commerce and tourism. Ferries bellow as they depart, their wakes churning the water. The air is thick with the smell of diesel and fried food from countless stalls. Crowds push along the waterfront, a river of humanity flowing without pause. But if you arrive before the sun, you find a different world entirely. The harbor becomes a place of quiet reflection. The water is a dark, smooth mirror, holding the first soft colors of the coming day. The air is cool and carries the clean, salty smell of the open sea. A few fishermen are the only souls awake. They move with a quiet purpose, their hands deftly rolling nets or coiling ropes. Their movements are a silent, practiced ballet that has been performed here for generations. The only sounds are the gentle lapping of water against the wooden piers and the occasional cry of a seabird. A man sits on a low wall, a cup of hot tea steaming in his hands, his gaze fixed on the horizon. This moment is for the people who live by the rhythms of the tide, not the clock. It is a secret shared between the city and the sea, and for a short time, it is also for you. To find this peace, you must reset your own clock. The tip is simple. Wake up with the city, not after it. Set your alarm for an hour before sunrise. Do not plan a route. Just walk toward the water. The streets will be empty and yours alone. The usual noise is replaced by a low hum, the sound of a city still dreaming. This early morning light is a gift. It paints everything in soft, forgiving hues. The experience is not about seeing a landmark. It is about feeling the pulse of the city when it is at its most calm and authentic. This quiet harbor teaches you something important. It shows you that time is not always a rushing river. It can also be a still, deep pool. By simply being present in this early morning stillness, you see the city in a new way. You see the foundations of its daily life before the performance of the day begins. You see the people whose work is the backbone of the city's vibrant character. This small, quiet moment by the water becomes a powerful memory, a peaceful anchor you can return to in your mind long after you have left. Now, let us travel to a sprawling North American metropolis. A city famous for its towering skyscrapers and relentless pace. The main avenues are canyons of steel and glass, filled with the constant roar of traffic and the blare of sirens. Yellow cabs and delivery trucks jockey for position. Pedestrians surge across intersections in dense waves. The energy is electric, but it can also be exhausting. Yet, just a single block away from this overwhelming spectacle, you can find an almost impossible quiet. You just need to turn into a small lane that runs behind the main street, a place the city seems to have forgotten. In these narrow back lanes, the world changes completely. Small, hardy trees often grow here, their leaves providing a soft canopy of shade. The towering buildings are still visible, but from this angle, they feel more like distant mountains than oppressive walls. The shops and businesses that face the Grand Avenue have their quiet backs turned here. Many of them close early, leaving the lane to the residents. A stray cat might be found sleeping peacefully on a doorstep, undisturbed by the city's rush. The dominant sound is no longer traffic, but perhaps the faint melody of a single radio drifting from an open window above. The practical tip for finding these places is to walk with curiosity. When you are on a busy street, look for the gaps between buildings. Look for the small alleys that seem to lead nowhere. These are the city's hidden pathways. They are often service lanes, residential access points. They are not designed for tourists, which is precisely why they offer such an authentic peace. Walk without a destination. Let your eyes wander. You can notice small, beautiful things you would otherwise miss. The texture of old brickwork, the faded colors of peeling wall paint, a hand-lettered sign on a small workshop door. These small details tell a story. They speak of the people who live and work here, away from the spotlight. They show a side of the city that is more human scale and personal. The lane feels less like a part of a giant metropolis and more like a village street. Here you can walk without the need to hurry. You can pause and observe without feeling like you are in the way. This simple act of stepping off the main path allows you to breathe. Parks are the city's lungs, and they are also its gentle sanctuaries for quiet. Let us consider a grand, historic park in a major European capital. In the height of summer, around midday, this park can be as crowded as any city square. Families picnic on blankets, children shout on the playgrounds, and tourists gather around fountains and statues. But even here, quiet is not far away. It is a matter of timing and direction. The early mornings and the late afternoons are different. The crowds thin out, and a soft, golden light filters through the ancient trees, bringing with it a deep sense of calm. To find this quiet, you simply need to walk slowly on a less traveled path. Leave the wide, paved boulevards and wander onto the smaller dirt trails that wind through groves of trees. Here, you can hear the gentle rustle of a squirrel in the undergrowth, or the rhythmic tap-tap-tap of a woodpecker high in a branch. The sound of falling leaves becomes a soft, percussive rhythm. Benches that were occupied just hours ago are now free, waiting for you to sit and simply be. You might see an old couple walking hand in hand, their steps slow and measured, their presence adding to the park's peaceful atmosphere. The advice for visitors is to embrace the edges of the day. Visit a park just after it opens or in the hour before it closes. The light is more beautiful, and the atmosphere is more serene. Bring a book, but do not feel pressured to read it. Instead, just sit and breathe. Watch the world go by. Sometimes the best way to find quiet is to rise above the noise. In many bustling cities from the Middle East to South America, rooftops offer a unique form of escape. From the street level, a city can feel chaotic and overwhelming, but from a rooftop, everything changes. The cacophony of the streets below fades into a distant, manageable hum. The city transforms from an immersive experience into a panoramic view, a living map spread out before you. The distance creates a sense of detachment and peace. Up on a rooftop, a different set of sounds takes over. The wind moves freely here, whispering as it flows over antennas, water towers. You might hear the faint flutter of a flag, the coo of pigeons nesting nearby. People who seek out rooftops are often seeking the same thing as you: a moment of calm. You might find someone quietly reading a book, a couple sharing a quiet conversation, a resident tending to a small garden of potted herbs and flowers. They are watching the sky, the shifting clouds, the changing lights of the city as day turns to night. The tip for finding these elevated sanctuaries is to look up. Many modern hotels have rooftop bars, rooftop cafes, and they are often quietest in the late afternoon. Older apartment buildings sometimes have accessible roofs, though you should always be respectful and ensure you are allowed to be there. In some cities, public libraries' museums have terraces that offer stunning views and a quiet atmosphere. The key is to seek height. From up high, the city's problems and pressures seem smaller. It feels like a beautiful, intricate model, and you are its peaceful observer. This perspective shift is powerful. It allows you to appreciate the city's scale and beauty without being consumed by its intensity. You can trace the paths of rivers, follow the lines of major boulevards, watch thousands of tiny lights begin to sparkle as dusk settles. The city feels both vast and intimate from this vantage point. A rooftop provides a secret space between the earth and the sky, a platform where you can breathe deeply and watch the world unfold from a serene distance. It gives you the city, but on your own quiet terms. Finding the quiet side of a city is an art, but it is one that anyone can learn. It does not require special equipment or extensive planning, only a shift in perspective and a willingness to wander. The first and most important tip is to learn when to look. The mood of a city changes dramatically throughout the day. Many places that are crowded and loud in the afternoon are beautifully calm at dawn. Others that are vibrant at night might be sleepy and quiet at noon. Try walking at different times. Early mornings are almost always a good start. Late afternoon, when the light softens and people begin to wind down. Another simple but effective tip is to talk to the people who live there. A local shopkeeper may be able to point you toward a small, hidden garden. Close up, hands holding a simple, hand-drawn map of a neighborhood, pointing to a small park. A taxi driver might know a quiet, picturesque street that is not in any guidebook. The people who inhabit a city every day see it in rich detail. They know its shortcuts. They know its rhythms. They know its hidden corners. Approach them gently and with a smile. Ask for a recommendation for a quiet place to sit or a peaceful street to walk. A moment of small kindness can open doors to experiences you would never find on your own. When you do find a quiet spot, it is important to move slowly and respectfully. Do not speak in a loud voice or rush through the space. Find a bench and sit for a while. Watch the world go by. Take a deep breath. Try to use your eyes and ears more than your phone's camera. Remember that some of these places are quiet because they are refuges for the people who live nearby. They are spaces where residents come to escape the city's pressures. By being a quiet visitor, you help preserve the peace that you came to find. Finally, a few simple exercises can help you deepen the experience of these calm moments. When you find a quiet place, close your eyes for just 1 minute. Listen carefully and try to identify 3 distinct sounds, no matter how small. Then, take 3 slow, deep breaths, noticing the feeling of the air. Focus on one smell in the air around you. Walk slowly for just 2 minutes, paying attention to the feeling of your feet on the ground. These small acts of mindfulness anchor you in the present moment. They help you absorb the quiet and carry it with you. Famous cities are proud and loud. They are built to impress, to be seen, and to be heard. They showcase their power in their skylines and their energy in their crowded streets. Yet their quiet corners tell another, more intimate story. Forgotten lanes, early morning harbors, peaceful parks are where the city's simple, human life is preserved. They hold the moments that move slowly, the interactions that are gentle, the time that is measured in breaths rather than minutes. To find them is to find the city's soul. Making room for quiet in your travels is an act of kindness to yourself. It provides a necessary pause for your mind to rest and process all that you have seen. The constant noise and stimulation of a big city can be overwhelming, causing you to miss the small joys that make a place unique. Quiet brings them back into focus. You do not need a detailed itinerary to find this calm. You only need a little curiosity, a little time, and the willingness to take a step off the beaten path. The city will still be there, with all its magnificent noise, when you are ready to return to it. So, the next time you travel, remember to slow down for a few hours. Choose to walk down a side street instead of the main boulevard. Sit on a park bench with no agenda. Watch the light change as the sun sets. Talk to one person and listen to their story. Taste your food slowly, savoring each flavor. Take a deep breath and listen to the city's whisper. These small, deliberate acts will not take anything away from your trip. Instead, they will add a layer of depth and meaning you can't find at any famous monument. The quiet moments are the ones that often stay with you the longest. They become small, peaceful treasures that you carry in your mind when you return home. They are the lasting echo of a slow moment in a fast place. By seeking them out, you learn to love the city for more than just its bright, loud face. You learn to love it for its quiet heart, its gentle rhythms, and its hidden, everyday beauty. And in doing so, you find a more profound and lasting connection to the places you visit and the world you explore.